Curiosity Stream, we've walked with dinosaurs. We've explored our prehistoric planet, and we were always told the same story. Extinction came from the sky. But what if dinosaurs survived? Amazing Dino World 2. Watch it now on Curiosity Stream. With monthly, annual, and bundle plans, find the one that works for you at curiositystream.com.
What's up, guys? This is Osborne. You're listening to the Alien Strand podcast with Donald Ledesma. My new project, Genesis, is dropping May 8th on Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube. You can keep up with me at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at OsborneLid. That's with 3 T's. I'll see you guys there.
This podcast may contain listener graphic content. Listener discretion is advised.
Harvesting is when the alien takes parts or pieces of skin, sometimes it's blood, sometimes it's a scoop mark.
So they're taking what, human body parts, tissue samples, is that what's going on?
They are doing at least that. Some people suggest that there's an involvement of some type of genetic manipulation.
Those sort of marks, is that pretty typical of what contact experiencers have on their body after an event?
Certainly involving abductions. There have been many cases of triangular marks, circular marks, and other types of strange marks which are inexplicable. I would think something to do with DNA, because I have been reliably informed by a Washington source that there is a hybridization program in process. A group of aliens plan to produce hybrids, combination of human beings and their own beings.
Alien Strand Podcast.
What's up, everyone? This is Arizona Gallego, and you're listening to Alien Strand Podcast with Donald Ledesma. Check out my Facebook page at Arizona's Secret Backyard. Give me a like, share, and follow. I'll see you there.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Alien Strand Podcast. I'm your host, Donald Ledesma. And welcome to today's episode, number 42. So this one's called The Hybrid Theories. And I wanted to bring this out again because there are just so many alien abductions out there that more and more the people are coming out and talking more about their experiences, right? And they have so many similarities, right? To not to think that, you know, these aliens are doing some kind of hybrid experiments on everybody, right? They have to be. But before we get going on that one, I'd like to welcome everybody to Alien Strand Podcast. You can catch us on Alien Strand on Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and alienstrand.com. And don't forget, you can download our app. It's on Google Play. It's a player. So if you want to catch any of Alien Strands episodes, don't want to miss any, just go ahead and download that app on Google Play. If not, you can go to alienstrand.com. On the homepage at the very bottom right, there's a little spot there where you click it, the little Android. It'll take you right to the page. You download it, you sign in, you'll be able to comment on any of these podcasts. And I'll reply back and answer any questions you have on the podcast. So I really do appreciate you guys for doing that. There's been a lot of downloads. And, I decided to wait a little bit, give everybody some time. I hope everybody's doing well. I know I am. We're all dealing with this heat as well. So it's getting a little hotter and hotter. So, as we do, we listen to our podcasts in the evenings and the afternoons, especially with Alien Strand. A lot of people like to listen to it while they're laying down, even right before they go to bed. A lot of people have messaged me, told me, man, I really enjoy your podcast. I listen to them right before I'm going to bed, and put some headphones on. When you get some headphones on, you'll be able to hear it nice and clear. And I really do hope you guys enjoy all the content that I'm giving to you. And, I do this so that way, you guys can get a lot more information on what's going on out there. So if you want to be a guest on the show, you can still call us at area code 361-245-8000. Again, that's 361-245-8000. You want to be a guest on the show? You have an alien abduction, seen a lot of UFO activity, got pictures, photos, videos. You can instant message those to me or email them to me, and I'll be glad to give you all the credit on those, okay? So, because you guys are doing all the hard work on bringing these videos and all these pictures and everything to life, Of course, we're going to have these doubters out there. There's always a doubter out there, that's space debris, it's dust, it's a raindrop, it's like I always say. I mean, if a UFO or a craft came and landed right in front of you, 2 feet from you, then you're going to believe what you're seeing? You take a video of it or a photo, and what's the first thing people are going to say? It's photoshopped. It's not real. It's CGI. Right, so you never know. That's what I'm trying to say. You never know what this person has experienced. So before you knock it down, or before you decide to answer what it is, which is great, we love your comments, think about it a little bit first, or dig into it. That's what Alien Strand's about. We want you to dig in, and if you find out that it's a hoax or a fake, hey, throw it out there. And we'll spread the message to everybody else and all the other groups, so that way they don't put the same content out there thinking that other people will believe what they're seeing if it's a hoax. But what I'm trying to say is, before you make a judgment call on anything, just think about it a little bit before you do it, before you write your content or your comments. We appreciate everything that everybody says, and everybody's very courteous on Alien Strand on Facebook, and I really do appreciate that. I'm very heartfelt on everything that happens on Alien Strand since I started it in 2019. Lo and behold, here we are, episode number 42. And it's a little rough. The very first episodes are rough, maybe 1 through 10. Production-wise, it's getting better. So I apologize for those. But it's all good content. And I want you listeners to understand that everything that I'm putting out on Alien Strand, I just don't Google one thing or just look into one thing and then I start talking about it. No. I go through 5-10 sources, sometimes even more, and I read through it for about a week before I decide to give you the content. Why? Because I want you guys to be more educated on what's out there, which is real and what could be real, than something that somebody just threw out there, right? So believe you and me, I have had maybe 4 stories or 5 now that I almost put out. But after I dug for a few days, a lot of them I found out later that they did it for a reason. It was a hoax, or they made up, or maybe some of the photos that they did put out were actually a real UFO. And then from then on, they decided to take it a little further because of the money, right? So, and luckily I caught those before I didn't put them out there. And that's what I'm trying to get to you guys, is that everything that I put out here, even today, is for you guys to get a little educated on what we're doing. So I decided to talk about the hybrid theories because, like I said before, a lot of these alien abductions are so similar, right? Their encounters are similar. They have so many parts of the puzzle that actually almost layer on top of each other, right? Because you have a big puzzle that we're always putting pieces together to make one big picture. But there's some that where the puzzle is exactly the same shape, right? And that's what I'm talking about. This is the hybrid theory. And definition of hybrid, right? It's relating to or produced from parents of different species, varieties of breeds, having or produced by a combination of 2 or more distinct elements marked by heterogeneity in origin with a composition or appearance. Right? So what is that telling you? 2 are different species, right? So they're trying to put this together and make something different. So the aliens, why are they doing this? I think because they're no longer able to procreate successfully on their own world, right? I talked about this in the Grays. You know, in recent polls, they have indicated up to 6% of Americans who have claimed to be abducted. 6%. And that's just America, right? Think about the whole world. You know, we haven't even got the numbers on that yet. And 6% is a lot. You know, these extraterrestrials, they often take men, women, captives, right? Against their own will. Why? To extract sperm, eggs, etc. for testing, right? And we got this concept too, right? But we got it like, what, in the 80s? When they started doing test tube babies, remember that? So they use humans as incubators to spawn an alien offspring. You know, some sources have said that they're doing this to take over our planet. I mean, is that what you believe? I've talked to a lot of people, you know, and who believe in aliens, extraterrestrials, and they believe this is a fact. I mean, you heard at the beginning of this podcast, he had a government source saying that that's what their agenda is. So one instructor from the University of Oxford in England, his name is Young Hai Chi, claims to know what the ETs have in mind. He says they're creating alien-human hybrids as a hedge against climate change. climate change. I don't know about that. But Chi claims the number of abductions has risen. And I mean, I can second that. I mean, you're starting to see a lot more people come forward on their abductions. After they have their sessions to get the information out. And after this, they want to tell their story. But Chi bases his theory on the work of David Jacobs. I don't know if you remember David Jacobs. I have mentioned him before on this podcast. He's a retired from Temple University historian and on ufology. And he wrote several books. One is The Threat. I mentioned this book. There's another book called Walking Among Us. Another one called Secret Life. The UFO Controversy. And Alien Encounters. So he's writing these books on his basis on the theories and what people have told him under hypnosis, right? All the data that's out there. That's how he was able to write these books. And if you have a chance, pick up one of these titles. Check it out for yourself. So these abductions, they have a timestamp on them, right? I mean, it's been going on for, I'm sure, quite a long time. We have the Betty and Barney Hill, right? The case in September of 1961. Very, very famous case. Was there an extraction of sperm and eggs? They never really said. On my podcast, if you can remember, Betty said it was a pleasant abduction because she was able to speak with them. Barney didn't remember very much. He almost had like PTSD because of it. It was very traumatic for him. There's another famous case. The Antonio Villas Boas from Brazil. That happened in 1957. That one has a lot of merit because he was even checked by his own doctors, personal doctors. They drew blood from him. And they knew that his story was very extraordinary, right? That it had to have happened because of the marks on his body. And then we have this case of a Colonel H.G. Shaw published an account in Stockton, California in 1897. 1897. He says, and they claimed that they were confronted with 3 tall, slender humanoids whose bodies were covered in like fine, downy hair. He said they tried to kidnap him and his friend. That came out in a newspaper in 1897. And there's another story. In 1921, this man, he got snatched up by 2 tall men in diving suits. This is what he claimed. They had an odd-shaped tank, and he was released after. And one thing I've always, and that story that I just said, it happened to him as a child. But why the catch and release, right? That's always been the big question. Why abduct somebody like that against your own will? They do these tests on you and then they release you back. And I believe it's to see the success of your biological DNA. Does that make sense? And if they're successful with your DNA, they come back and they put an implant in you to make sure you're used again and again against your will.
Are you struggling to conceive? You have options, and at Piedmont Reproductive Endocrinology Group, we'll make sure you have the guidance and support you need. PREG is known for individualized fertility care that's unique to every patient. We take the time to provide a reassuring and empowering experience because we believe that you deserve nothing less. Let us help you on your journey to parenthood. Visit us at pregonline.com to learn more. Get the guidance and support you need at Piedmont Reproductive Endocrinology Group.
Did you miss your deadline to renew your Medicaid coverage? You can still send your completed annual review form to Healthy Connections Medicaid. You may be assigned to another health plan, but you can ask to come back to First Choice within 60 days of renewed Medicaid eligibility. It's your family. It's your choice. First Choice is the right choice. Renew and choose us. Visit selecthealthofsc.com/renew to learn more.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Coincidence? I think not. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere, even at 30,000 feet. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
No purchase necessary. VGW. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
You know, and that's like the story that I have of episode number 40. If you remember that, if you've heard it before, it's the Jesse Long story. This is exactly what happened to this gentleman. You know, the extraterrestrials, they used him for sperm extraction, right? And they made a baby. Plus 9 other children that he saw and witnessed himself. Because he said he knew he was their father. Or their significant parent, right? Because at the very end, when he was laying on the table, they all grabbed his hand and they told him, "We're okay. It's okay. And thank you." That's what they told him. This is what he remembers under hypnosis. You know, and my thing is hybrids. You know, why are they doing this? And it reminds me of this story that I have. It's on episode number 27. I don't know if you guys heard it before, but it was called The Alien DNA Origins, right? And it was about a story of this woman. Her name was Lisa. She was blonde, green eyes, 6'3" tall, right? She claims that while her mother was at a later term, was abducted in Canada by 2 little beings with big heads, black eyes. While she was laying on the bed, she couldn't move, and they kept on telling. One said, this is what her mother remembers while she was pregnant. She's not ready yet. That's what one said. The other extraterrestrial says, yes, she is. And you know what's bizarre about this story? Was that the doctors knew she was only having one child. They knew it through her whole term. And on her 9th month, when she was delivering, she gave birth to a baby boy, right? The doctor got out. He left because he knew it was only one baby. But then the nurse ran back out of the room and went back to grab the doctor. She called the doctor back. And she said, "Doctor, there's another baby inside." And he kept on saying, "No way. There's no way." lo and behold, out came a baby girl, which was Lisa. Lisa claims that as she was growing up, that she had several UFO encounters. And being a little bit clairvoyant with paranormal abilities. I've heard about people like that. Are they hybrids? Maybe. Are they special? Yes, I think they are. And she had a lot of strange encounters. I think on that one she ended up meeting another woman. It was a British woman, and she says that automatically they had never met each other, but they connected. Right? They both connected. They were like almost instant friends automatically. And that the gentleman that's speaking for her, right? He's translating because she's speaking French. He's saying that they both of the women got along very well. But there was a language barrier in that story. The two women could not communicate, but they would talk to each other like they could, right? He said it was like they were talking, like they were communicating, and they understood each other. And they were both Rh negative. That story always blows me away. And I'll post a link to that video again. That way you guys can check it out. I'll put a link on this podcast as well. And you can see her story while the gentleman translates for her. And you'll see what she looks like. And I don't know if you ever listened to my episode number 5 with Billy Meyer. Well, if you read when they went to go interview him, I believe in the 70s, there was a woman, which was a reporter, that they went over there to go visit him. And she looked exactly like one of the extraterrestrials that was helping him through his life. Her name was Asket. And he couldn't believe how similar she looked to the extraterrestrial, which was this reporter. He was just taking a lot of photos because he had a real strong connection with Asket in that story of Billy Meyer. A lot of people don't believe his story, and a lot of people do. If you have a chance, check it out. It's episode number 5. But getting back to this, there's a woman, I saw her on MUFON. Her name's Barbara Lamb. And she claims that, we are all hybrids, she says. And we were all created about 275 BC. Through the Anunnaki. Anunnaki has a lot of, I don't know if you read the Tablets of Enki. I have. I even do a podcast with a good friend of mine. His name's Preston Reflin, which is episode number 3. We go into detail on the Anunnaki. Did we come from the Anunnaki? Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe it's just interpreted as something else. So this woman, Barbara Lamb, she says that she claims that she personally knows 6 hybrids that live amongst us. Personally. That's pretty strange. As far as the alien concept of the Greys, clones. They say that the clone species have a distinct advantage. that cloning provides an increased DNA replication failure. Because of the Gray's structure is degraded. And they are functioning more on an RNA basis, which is their blood type. With RNA replication, there is no cross-checking. For capability during cell reproduction, right? So the RNA versus DNA, what is it? Why is it that the aliens have RNA and we have the DNA? RNA is a single strand molecule, right? Our DNA is a double strand molecule. That's why you see that little spinning shape that we have when you see the DNA, and it has two strands, almost like looks like a roller coaster, right? Like spinning. We have two rails. Well, RNA only has one rail. Both types are nucleic acids, right? The DNA contains genetic information, and RNA transplants that information to make proteins. So what are the positive concepts of alien hybrids, right? What's the possible positive concept of an alien hybrid? Because they assign the role of a caretaker of the human species, right? Because of the abduction of humans through multi-generational and human family lives. For a specific genetic sequential format, right? Which means that if you have a good bloodline, or maybe your grandfather or the father before him had a good bloodline and they were being abducted, or they're going to keep on bringing it down the family line. Because your genetics are good, and that's what they want. So they've been coming down for hundreds of thousands of years, right? The aliens, they kind of, assign the role of, like preservers of the life forms to this planet. I think that's what they're trying to do in a way. Acknowledges the fact Greys are breeding with humans in an attempt to revitalize the genetic structure of their species. Thus, we have hybrids, right? It's like I said before, they've been doing this for years and years and years. I think I talked about it in a couple of my podcasts that there's an underground base. I believe in Dulce. That he did a diagram, and there was each level was for something different. One was for the alien craft. One was for biological. One was offices. I believe it went down like 9 stories or 10 stories down. And I believe the last one, they had nothing but people that were preserved in there. My thing is why? It was women, children, adults, males, everybody. They were preserving them. And they were making hybrids out of them. This is what he claimed. You know, I have a bunch of stories on these alien abductions. And to me, it's just like I was saying, if you have a good bloodline, they're going to keep coming back, and they're going to keep coming back through the generations, which means once you're gone, they might go after your grandchildren or children or whatever. I'm not saying this to scare you, but it's what is happening and what they've documented through the years. And you know, maybe because like I said before, these grays cannot reproduce. They make these hybrids. You know, are they making it for their planet? Or are they making it for ours? You know, I don't know if you heard this, the last podcast I did with Crystal. We spoke about the Bigfoot, right? Sasquatch. And I asked her a question. Do you think these are what kind of species they are? And she says, I think there's some kind of a hybrid that was made by the aliens, possibly. Because they both have the male and female genetic code. You know, and these creatures have been walking this earth for a long time as well. And I've done stories on a lot of these alien encounters. A lot of times these aliens, I think the reason you don't see them very much is because they can't really breathe that well on our atmosphere. We can, but I don't think they can. Because a lot of the abductees, when they go into these ships or UFOs or crafts, whatever you want to call them, that they say the air is so thick that it's hard for them to breathe. It's very humid, like wet, sticky. I don't know if you've ever been in a high humidity climate, but I live down here in Texas, in the lower, right by the water, and believe me, these humidity levels are super high. You start sweating as soon as you walk out the door. Now imagine having that tenfold inside of one of these crafts. So maybe these aliens, extraterrestrials, cannot breathe on our planet because maybe it's just too much air for them to take in. They need that moisture, right? And they're possibly making this hybrid to be able to withstand the air that we breathe here and the air that they have themselves. Does it make sense? Yeah, I think so. You know, there's a lot of information out there. A lot of information on alien abductions and hybrids. There's a few stories you'll find out there on people that think they're a hybrid of some sort. But like I said on this story of Lisa, I'll post a link to it. You can see it for yourself. And I kind of matched up like her face with the face that Billy Meyer was trying to that who he was communicating with, which were the Palladians, right? And I believe he called them the Polar Hens. But he says that they were good-looking people, right? Tall, blonde. So that's why I kind of connected Lisa's story with the Billy Meyer story. You know, I hope today you got a little bit of information on the aliens and what they're about, and why they doing these hybrid programs for themselves. You know, why they do these tests on us. A lot of people have marks on their bodies after they're done. Triangles, especially triangular shapes. I believe I did one on this woman that was abducted, and maybe 4 of her friends. Well, not were friends. They were just in different vehicles on the same road in Australia. All the females ended up having a triangular shape, small triangle on their navel area. I believe that the eggs were extracted from them. They just didn't know what was happening. That was a pretty scary podcast there. But if you have a chance, go back and listen to a lot of my podcasts on the abductions. You'll be able to put a lot of these stories together for yourselves and know that I'm not just making this up. I'm just giving you information that's out there. Some of it is dug down pretty deep. You know, so that way you can have a little bit of information and knowledge on what you think is possibly going on. And like I said, I hope you got a lot of information out of this, as I did. And I'm still getting information today. And if you do see something out there, just be careful. You know, kind of know what you're looking for. And know what you're seeing out there. Keep your eyes in the skies. Keep your phones handy. Take some good pictures. Take some good video if you can. Make sure your cameras are stable. Make sure you get out of the car. Don't do it while you're driving. Get out of the car and get us some good shots or some good video. I've seen so much already where people are inside the car and you're getting all these smears of the windshield and the windows. And then you don't know if it's a raindrop. Yeah, I get that. You know, or the crack on the window, or there's a smeared bug on there and you can't really tell what it is, right? So if you have a chance, be safe, pull over, you know, get your camera out or video camera. Get that thing ready and start shooting some nice video. If you have a chance, upload it to Alien Strand there on Facebook. Go to the community section. You'll be able to upload a lot of stuff. A good friend of mine, Cindy from Skybeam, she uploads a lot of her photos there. Need to check her stuff out there. Good friend of mine, Arizona, in Arizona's Secret Backyard. Go check him out. Got my friend Jody Gordon. They're on Extraterrestrial and Strange Sightings group. Go check them out. And then we have Crystal. You know, the Bigfoot, The Real Truth. Go check out that group. Really good groups out there. You know, if you're searching for something good, go to the good groups. You know, there's a lot of groups out there where they just allow so much trolling. It's unbelievable. You know, as for Alien Strand, no, that ain't happening. You know, like I said, you know, be nice, be courteous, be safe out there. You know, check us out on Facebook. Been posting a lot of good stuff there lately, a lot of good videos. Give us some feedback, comments on it. See what you think. Share it with your friends. You know, catch us on Tumblr, Twitter, YouTube, alienstrand.com. You know, we even have an Instagram page. Go check that out too. You know, if you go to alienstrand.com, there's a little donate button at the very bottom. If you want to hit that, hey, you could throw $1 or $2, whatever. I'm just trying to keep this free. I'm trying to make this grow for everybody. Trying to get a channel going, a real channel for you guys. So, if you have a chance, I really do appreciate that. And if you can, download the Alien Strand app there on your Google Play. And thank you so much for that. But until then, you guys have yourselves a good day, a good evening, and a good night.
Alien Strand Podcast.
Lucky Land Casino, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually.
Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.